The entire system that we have of training, paying, retaining, inspiring teachers is a vestige of a labor market that discriminated against women and said, you've got two professional choices. One's being a teacher and one's being a nurse. So how about coming to the Denver Public Schools and teaching Julius Caesar for 30 years of your life at a really low current compensation? But if you stick with us for those 30 years, we'll give you a pension that theoretically is worth 3 times what Social Security is worth today, but you're not sure it's actually going to be there when you get there, and you're not going to be there anyway because we're losing 50% of our teachers from the profession in the first 5 years. We subsidized K-12 education for decades in a labor market that discriminated against women, and we were very likely to be getting the best British literature student into the classroom in that system. That's been gone for decades, but our system belongs almost completely to that time in the country's history. So, I mean, some thoughts on how you would change that. I believe strongly that we need to create alternatives for the master's degree programs that are out there training our teachers today. I think we should be embedding our teachers in more residency-based models like medical residencies where they're actually learning from master teachers in the classroom the pedagogy they need to be able to reach our kids. We're not preparing our teachers well at the outset. We need to change the way we pay teachers. In Denver today, if you're teaching in a high-poverty school, you get paid more for that. It's harder to find people to teach in a high-poverty school. If you're bringing a special set of skills like math and science and special ed, you get paid more for that. If you're driving student achievement, you get paid more for that. And we need to differentiate the way we pay our teachers, and we should be paying them a lot more on the front end than we do today. The incentive structure for our children is completely screwed up. Everybody in the country says they want more STEM graduates, more graduates in engineering and mathematics. Here's how that system worked in Denver, and it works this way in most of the country. The requirement for graduation from the Denver Public Schools was 2 years of mathematics. I'm not a huge believer in seat time. I believe we should be measuring, proficiencies and then moving kids along if they're ready to move along. But math, unlike other stuff, if you don't use it, you lose it, you forget it. You have to practice it. I looked at the remediation rates of our high school graduates that were going on to college in math, and at some of the local institutions, it was 90% of our kids were being remediated in higher ed. A lot of reasons for that, but one was that we were only requiring those 2 years of math, unless you passed the algebra exam in the 8th grade, in which case we were saying to our strongest adolescent mathematicians, your reward for that is you only have to take 1 year of math. Today you have to take 4 years of math in the Denver Public Schools, and your reward for passing that algebra exam is you get to take a higher level class in mathematics before you leave. I can give you chapter and verse examples like that of how the incentive structure is working against our children in those very fundamental ways. And we are wasting an awful lot of the money we spend on K-12 education